Hello, my name is Chris Opergard. I'm a deacon at Trinity Lutheran Church here in Owatonna. And as a part of my call, I work with children's, youth, and families there. I'm so pleased to be a part of the United Way of Steele County THC prevention video series. I'll be sharing with you ways to talk to teens about marijuana, specifically THC. You have probably heard a lot about marijuana as more and more states have recently legalized them, with Minnesota being one of them. Marijuana comes from the cannabis plant, and the cannabis plant produces CBD and THC, both of which cause drug-like reactions in your body. THC is the main psychoactive ingredient in the cannabis plant. It's the part that makes you feel high when you smoke marijuana or eat an edible. The perception of the dangers of marijuana use is declining, so young people do not consider it to be risky behavior at all. Teens may use marijuana under peer pressure, but they also may use it to manage their mental health as well. It is good for teenagers to understand that marijuana and THC is addictive. And it's also good for the teenagers to remember that their brains are still developing through the age of 25. So any use of THC affects normal brain development and function for teenagers. Parents should start the conversation about this as young as possible with your children. If your child is already a teenager, that's okay. They most likely may have gotten some misinformation about marijuana use, but that doesn't mean you can't start today. Your children should be getting good and accurate information about marijuana use from you, their parents, and that's the most important thing. The good news is that this conversation about marijuana doesn't have to be any more difficult than talking with your teenagers about sex or alcohol. But the bad news is this conversation about marijuana is just as difficult as talking to your teenagers about sex or alcohol. So here are my top 3 tips to talking to your teenagers about THC and marijuana use. Number 1, remain calm and be open. Don't let your emotions get in the way of this important conversation. Choose an informal time to talk about it and let your teen know that you care about them and that you'll always be there for them. And don't forget to be open about what your teenager has to say as well about this topic. Number 2, get your facts straight about marijuana and THC. Remember, you don't have to be perfect in order to have this conversation, but it is good to have your information, your facts straight before you talk to your teen about this. Having this conversation doesn't mean that your teenager is going to start using marijuana or THC. It just means that you are opening the door and that you care about your teenager and the world that they live in. Finally, number 3, create family rules around marijuana and THC use. After parents and teens, after you have this conversation, this open and calm conversation, you need to have some family rules around it. And those rules are going to be designed for your family, but they need to be simple, clear, and implemented consistently. I'll repeat this because it's very important. Be consistent. Be consistent when you implement those family rules in your family. You need to be clear about those rules and enforce them with your teenager. Finally, as a parent, you're not off the hook after this one awkward conversation with your teenager about marijuana and THC use. This is an ongoing conversation that will probably happen into their early adulthood. But it's important because your goal as a parent is to be there for your child and be consistent so that your teenager knows that they have a safe and comfortable place talking to you about this topic. It's your responsibility to create this open environment for them. Thank you so much for allowing me to be taking some of your time to talk about this conversation. It is a journey, but it is a good one to have with your child. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.